Well, this was a funny, goofy episode.
Yep, time for Buddyfight 29.
Woo!
The Poochie doesn't know when to put it on their YouTube channel edition.
6 o'clock last week, 8 o'clock this week.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. Well, no, it wasn't even 8 o'clock this week. It got on there like around 7 something.
Yeah, at least for our time. But that's beside.
It's always the point. It's just a silly thing, dude. Because I know he's going on Crunchyroll on time every single time.
In other news, though, Rico's prediction for this episode was true.
Yep, exactly how I thought it would happen, dude.
Like, exactly bullet point for bullet point. But yeah, so we have Gao versus Raremaro. I believe that's, yeah, Raremaro is his name.
Good enough. It really doesn't matter. He ballooned out of there.
He poochied his way out of this show.
You poochied out of there as soon as he lost, so it doesn't matter.
So yeah,
I'm just gonna call him Poochie.
Yes.
He killed Poochie.
So anyway, Poochie is talking to Ryuga.
You're really gonna do it?
Yes.
Alright, fine, let's do it.
Alright, so Poochie's talking to Ryuga, and it turns out Ryuga apparently beat everyone, and that's why they're listening to him, because of Sengoku's rules. And the Poochie then says, like, well, you lost to Gao, so if I win against Gao, that obviously means I'm the better player and I can boss you around again. And Ryuga is just like, you couldn't beat anything. You suck. Go ahead, do it. I don't care. And so, obligatory hate comment card thing here.
Yep, coming here because it has to be in every episode, dude.
Yep. So, then, Poochie's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And he's like, oh, but I've specifically designed my deck to counter Gao's Dragon World thing. I have Grendel, too, which we're gonna get into about this card. Oh my god.
He's ready to do anything you need him to do.
Meanwhile, Ryuga lays on the floor like he wants to be painted like a French girl. And it just says, I'm not even gonna watch. I know how this is gonna end. So, they get ready to fight, and Poochie's like, yeah, I got this special deck, it's gonna be awesome, I specifically designed around it, and Gao's like, I fight for Magic World!
Yep, and he's like, what?
Yeah.
And even Ryuga's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, everyone's just like, what the hey? And he's like, yeah! Off-screen, Drum showed his Magic World abilities. And so we put together this deck, and I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, with all the filler time that we've been having in the last few episodes especially, I'm surprised it didn't just make an episode where he showed off his different things.
I guess they kind of wanted this to be a super special reveal, but...
But we've had the thing out for a month now. It's not.
But yeah, so, they flash back to when Drum showed it off with his puffy pants in Gao's house, and Axia thinks that Drum did it just for him, and the shipping continues.
Shipping intensifies.
Yeah, because Drum even says, like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, I don't know what the correlation there is, but okay.
Oh, no. It's the progression in a shipper's mind, where it's like, oh, he confirmed, even if he didn't really mean it, he confirmed it's gonna keep moving forward.
Just like Koiba?
Just like Koiba. So, yeah, and then Axia continues to molest poor Drum just constantly, and Drum's like, please get him off me.
Oh, goodness. Anyway, continue.
So then, I guess this means that Dungeon World form Drum wasn't impressive enough for Gao to use.
Gao didn't give enough of a crap. And it must have been that because freaking he has 2 friends who use Magic World versus 1 person who uses Dungeon World. And obviously doesn't use all of them. He could have done something with all this stuff, especially since, you know, no one they're fighting uses Dungeon World. Spoilers.
Yeah. I guess Gao's got something against rock, paper,
No, dude,
scissors.
they had to justify actually existing, I guess.
Yeah. Crap, how are we gonna use this guy? But anyway,
Well, at least you got to see the burning fists in action, which are not what I was expecting them to look like.
They float.
Well, they float. They don't work the way that they was meant to do. Do they, like, budge the opponent around until they can set them on fire?
We'll get to that. But yeah, so then Gao admits that he's never used Magic World before, and Paruko immediately flies down and is like, no, no.
It's like Paruko and Zani are the only two people who remembered that a child is missing.
Yeah, Gao's like, don't worry, I got this. And she's like, you should switch back to something you're more comfortable with. He's like, it's gonna be fun. Not like my friend's life is on the line. So, everyone then is making fun of Gao for not having his buddy skill.
Yeah.
Which Drum still refuses to let him use.
Because if you can't figure it out by now, that he just doesn't know how to do it, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, Drum, you suck. But yeah, so everyone's laughing at him, and the president says, well, this is a deck that he's never used before, and he can't even use his dang buddy skill.
Like it matters.
I got this in the bag.
Freaking doesn't do a dang thing, clearly.
Yeah. Oh no, he can't float.
Because it was so important.
Yeah. But, so then the fight finally starts, and Beowulf!
Yep, Beowulf is the first card he uses.
Which, it's
Just
Beowulf!
Dashes in there, man.
You cannot not be hyped for Beowulf. It's Beowulf.
Yeah, it was pretty hardcore.
It doesn't get more badass in ancient literature than that.
Yep, and that's why we don't see Dragon Knights that are based off fictional characters, because they're all going here.
Yep. So then, it turns out the president's like, I used Beowulf even though he's only really good against Dragon World. And it's like, they have more cards that are good against Dragon World, apparently?
Yeah, which, and I know we said we weren't going to bring this up again unless they did, but this one has to be brought up, because he seems to imply that this world has a lot of cards specifically designated to, at the very least, kill Dragon World stuff.
Yeah, and even later on, he says that this one card's really good against Magic World and basically used against it, and it's not specifically Magic World.
Because it's a really good-ass card anyway. But
yeah, but it's still, he basically said it like, yeah, this is just a card that's good against Magic World. So it seems like Legend World's whole thing is that it has cards.
Well, a part of them, because
yeah.
Luckily it seems that Legend World has a lot of different factions you can build around.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign, actually, that you actually have variety in how you build things, like what we saw with Dungeon World. So now Dragon World and, to a lesser extent, Magic World aren't the only two.
Yeah. So then, it's Gao's turn, and he uses the wizard that gives everyone gauge. It gives you 1 gauge and your opponent 2.
Bubbles.
Bubbles.
And bubbles.
Fucking bubbles. But yeah, so brings him out. He buddy calls Drum, and then he gets the floating fists.
Yep, they look like little fish.
Yeah,
with
they
claws.
do. Just floating
flop
hands.
around. I'm like I like my idea better, honestly.
And they gently rub Beowulf to death. Just
they do.
bat,
They just kind of bat him, and
bat,
he's like trying to punch
bat,
him. And then they grab his arms and set him on fire.
Yeah, like at first we were laughing, and then we noticed, oh wait, he's burning to death.
And I honestly liked how I thought they worked better. I thought they were just fists that he could punch fireballs out of his fist with. Like gauntlets, you just put them on, do it, and bam, like firebending. Just shoot fire out of your hands.
Yeah, it would have been great if they were just gauntlets of firebending.
Because this was just silly.
It was. Every time they attacked, it was hilarious. But just when that one shot where they attacked Beowulf, just bad.
Yeah, he's like, knock it off, come on, I mean it.
They're gnats, like just.
It was, oh my goodness, that was just silly.
And then Bubble Storm. If you haven't noticed, this episode's really goofy, especially because of Poochie's faces. His faces throughout the entire episode.
You thought the president of Shido of Aibo Academy had some faces. This guy keeps his eyes outside of his head half the time.
It's like there's no connective tissue. But yeah, so then he brings out the card.
The card.
Poochie brings out Grendel. Now Grendel, I think is a size 3. I didn't get a good look at his card because it was glowing. But he's really big, 6 defense. He is immune to spells. You cannot activate a spell on him. And when a monster attacks him, he destroys it. And he has 6 defense and double attack.
I thought he attacked them.
No, All monsters that attack Grendel are destroyed,
Oh.
is what I wrote down.
That's bullcrap, man.
Yeah.
That means if they have a effective Drago Energy clone or Raven or at the Dragon clone or dude, it's like whatever. So he's got counterattack. He's immune to spells. He's over the border for defense. And he has another thing, if I recall. Okay, I'll say it. Double attack.
Yeah, sorry, I said double attack, but...
You said no such thing as far as I remember. Or maybe you did. I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Oh, well, I think I said it when you were about to say something, so...
Maybe.
Oh, well, but yeah. This guy! This card is amazing!
I don't remember what his power was, of course, but...
They didn't say.
I have to assume it's at least as big as his defense if he's a size 3.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go off
Yeah,
6.
It's pretty... It could be pretty good, especially if the spells in Legend World can support it.
Mm-hmm. What happens if you use the spell that gives double attack on him? Does he get triple attack? Does he get quadruple attack?
I don't know.
We're gonna need a ruling on that one.
I'm gonna assume double attack is as double attack does.
Yeah. So then, everyone's like, well, none of Gao's monsters are big enough to hit Grendel, and now he can't use spells to bounce it, which is the whole thing that Magic World does, and they're like, wait! We can use Drum. Because this whole episode is all about Drum's new fancy-dancy Magic World skill of the Mega Blast Bunker.
Yep.
So they start to set it up. First, they bring out Axia and have him burn Gao in the butt. And it's funny because Axia's all nervous about it. He's like, I don't want to zap you. You're my favorite.
Axia, grow up hair.
He's too adorable. But yeah, so he burns Gao, and then Gao uses first he used Key of Solomon 1 in order to get more gauge, and everyone's like, oh, he's at 6, he can use it! But then he brings out Axia in order to burn himself to bring his life down, and they're like, but he doesn't have enough gauge now! But then he uses Gotcha! And he uses the President's gauge that he got up to 6 because of the Bubble Man, and then he blasts through Grendel.
Blows up Grendel and does the 4 damage to him.
It looked awesome. There was a lot of budget in that shot.
Well, it had to go somewhere, otherwise they'd be lying about it being a high-quality animation.
Like they already aren't.
Yeah, well, you know.
But yeah, so then Paruko freaks out at this point, and she's like, and it's still Gao's turn! So then, Axia shoves his
lightning staff up his ass.
Yeah.
Let's just say what happened. He took his rod and poked it up the guy's ass
and electrocuted
shocked him with the discharge.
With his ass up in the air.
Needless to say, he was surprised.
Mildly surprised. So then,
oh my god, I just can't believe that was there. Like, right in, like, if it were just a couple more frames, it would have been like that one kill one where the sword goes right up his butt, and it just keeps going up.
That or,
it's like, Jesus.
The Naruto thing, the 1,000 Years of Death.
Yeah, like,
Axia's now Kakashi.
I don't know what to even say, dude. It's just silly.
This episode is goofy. So then Drum attacks and Gao wins, of course. And Gao goes over and thanks Raremaro for the match, and Raramero's like, "You're thanking me?" And he's like, "Yeah, you're a strong fighter." He's like, "You think I'm a strong fighter?"
From Raremaro to Poochie to Romario. What is his name, man?
Raremaro. I don't know why I said Raremario. He's still Poochie. I need to remember.
It's because he's a dandy guy.
Yes. Damn it, Vanguard!
Oh, goodness. Continue.
So yeah, he thanks Poochie for the match. I'm going back to Poochie.
Fine, I don't care.
I just have his name written down in my notes, that's what's screwing
me. Then just use his name, man. Make up your mind. Do you have it written or no?
I do. Okay, so then Ruga comes down and says, "Nah, you're still worthless." And That's when he
has to go now because his planet needs him. And then he just literally his frame is just going taking up.
Yep, just balloons
like
up.
seriously, it's not like he's floating or anything, or you see him blowing up like when the ninja got taken by Yamagarasu. It's literally just the frame of him holding onto his balloon.
He Mary Poppins his way out.
Floats away, and then floats away again in the background. Not even moving. He's just whoop. It's literally, it would look like this. I have to go now. My planet needs me. Whoop. Whoop. It was so great because it was like, really, guys, you made everyone else fly out somewhat dignified. He flies out on a balloon.
It makes you think his buddy fight kind of sucks. He has to hold on to that thing. Your arms must get tired.
I just love it.
So then, Ruga says that he wants to fight the guy that he fought the one other time when he left the school, and the guy's like, no, I'm not usually like that. And he's like, oh, that was the best fight I've ever had. And then Axia continues to molest Drum more. And they go to the name of the deck is Magical Guts. And
Magic Guts.
Yeah, Magic Guts. And they're like, why'd you name that? Oh, because Baku screamed it while he was building the deck.
Slapping himself across the face while he was doing it, half asleep. Probably sleep deprived already if he was that intense in the night.
Yeah. That and
So he named his deck out to remind him of Baku, the man who barely sleeps and abuses himself while he builds a deck.
And apparently thinks that it takes guts to build a deck.
You have to be a man to build decks. I don't know if you know this.
I'd like to see Baku shoot flames out his nipples.
Baku.
I can't say words.
I was really hoping we would have seen that, but that was the one thing that didn't actually happen to that I was hoping it would have happened.
Yeah. We didn't see Toto or
They're clearly cards that he would be using too.
Yeah.
They look like they would be.
I wanted to see some JoJo action in here.
Not allowed to have fun. You suck at that.
I do suck at that, but that's because I can't fight.
Okay then.
But yeah, so that is the episode. Next episode, we have the Paladin, as I like to call him, because I don't know his name. And he uses Legend Worlds, and they have swordsmen!
Yep,
it makes me want
swordsmen.
them!
Which means I see things like King Arthur, Lancelot. That's probably who those two guys were, in fact. I wouldn't even be surprised.
I want it. I want it. But I know I probably can't have it.
You can have it if you believe you can,
I believe. Anyway, so that's the episode. Opinions?
It was good.
Yeah, this episode was better than the last one. It was super goofy, and that's the way I like it.
I think they could have had this happen without putting Kiri's life in danger.
Yeah.
Because it really takes away from the character motivation versus what they're actually doing.
Like, maybe if we've seen Kiri and he's just, like, they're just like...
Yeah, if we knew Kiri was safe, it would be okay, because that's, like, whatever. It's not like he's going anywhere.
Like, if they, like, Princess Peached him, where they just tied him to a post or something.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, whatever. Like, if you only did it to force them to fight him, and it's like, well, you got what you're asked for, we're gonna have fun with it, it's fine. But, no, it's, he's just straight up missing. They don't know where he is. They're not telling him where he is, and they'll only know if they win. This is an opportunity to completely forget about it and make our opponents fight the hardest they can, even when they're about to just give up themselves, dude. And let's also, while we're on the subject, you said a word and it made me blank out.
Sorry. Let's also use a deck that we've never tested before.
Thank you, yeah. Let's also use a deck that not only never been tested before, but was literally made the night before. And we'll just roll with it. Because it doesn't really matter, does it? It's just Kiri. It's not like he's good at playing or something.
It's not like he brings anything to the party.
Oh, your face when Kiri's fears are already been true. And he just didn't realize it.
I feel so bad for him.
Did you not realize it?
No.
You don't, like, seriously, did you remember when Tetsuya got his ass kicked how angry Gal was? Like, seriously, dude. Remember how angry Gal was when the concept of him having to not freaking keep his center open was brought up and how serious he took it? Dude, he's talking about both those things for episodes, dude. Kiri, he barely brings it up ever since they got there.
That poor kid. Wonder he has so many self-esteem issues. This is why you're losing him to the Jokers, guys.
Oh my god, this was already a bridge series, but it feels like one anyway. But I think the bridge series of this
wasn't this going to be the plot of the abridged Vanguard season 2?
This was somewhat similar to the plot of that Elliot and I were making before things happened that we were going to do for Vanguard season 2.
Where Yaichi's looking for his lost deck. Oh, and his sister.
His sister and his deck, but he really forgets about his sister about halfway through. And just starts beating up on people or something like that, and asking the challenge because he's looking for Diego. Diego is Daigo, by the way, who stole his deck and his sister, and he has a thick Mexican accent and a twirly mustache that we photoshopped on. It was a great idea at the time. I'm pretty sure we weren't drinking, so this was sober, by the way.
You guys were very sleep deprived at the time.
Probably. we were always sleep deprived back in those days.
Yeah, but anyway, good episode. I'm excited for the next one. This actually makes me feel a lot better after last week. Last week was very disappointing, but this one was a lot nicer.
I think we should take this time to also bring up some Buddyfight news.
Wait, no.
What?
It wasn't last week that was disappointing. It was the week before that was disappointing. Because last week had the really great ending.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
Right. Last week was actually okay. The one before that was the one where Kazane would not shut up.
Yeah. That was it. Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot about the Ninja episode. I'm crazy.
The Ninja episode's fine.
Yeah, Ninja episode's fine. Please disregard our comments about that.
Anyway, as I was trying to say, we should bring up with this little extra and got to bring up Buddyfight information for our area.
Yeah, our local store, Dean's Dugout, is going to be having a sneak peek for Booster 4.
Yeah, I know it's in October 5th, at, if I recall, about 2 p.m. or so, but I just figured we'd bring it up every now and then to make sure people know. The contact information, of course, is on our homepage on the YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, it's important because this is the first one in our immediate area.
Yeah.
To actually have a sneak peek. Where Sheen's process is going on. And I know it's progress, I just remembered that in Eddie. But, you know, like cheese. So, that's going to be a neat thing. And we'll also finally, hopefully, see these mysterious people who are buying the Buddyfight packs when we're not around.
Yeah.
Because outside our group, we don't
really know who's doing it.
Yeah, because like we know our group is buying them, obviously.
We know one other guy that's buying them.
And his friends. But apparently there's other people. And we don't know who they are.
Like, with Vanguard, it's like we knew everyone that was buying anything. Buddyfight, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, dude, it's just mysterious, because most of the people who play in our immediate area seem to be a bit further north or a bit further south of here. So it's weird. Gotta figure out what is going on here. So it's a good opportunity to meet these people.
Yeah. In Vanguard news, Booster 14 dropped.
That's a bit old.
Yeah, that is a bit old. I guess that was last week? I thought it was this week. But either way, it dropped.
Dean's had the sneak late, remember?
Oh yeah, you're right. It is late. Whatever. It's out.
You are done.
I am done. Any other news?
Give me your keys. You're drunk.
Have my wallet. I don't have my keys on me right now.
Alright, I'll take it. No, I think that's the important news.
more results for the regionals have come out.
Okay, fine. Well, since you brought it up, who makes their buddy Hardy the Devastator, but then doesn't use any Hardy the Devastator in their deck?
I'm all for generic tarot card deck, but why?
Really, what the heck was that about?
I'm sorry.
Someone had to be drinking for that one.
Some of these decks just are like someone had to be drinking. Other ones are great, but some of them.
I really hope
what's going on?
I really hope that they that the amount of participants can increase in the years, so we can see less decks like that topping. Like, that's terrible. I'm sorry. That deck had nobody. It had only one means of defensive counterspells. Like, if I recall, no magical goodbyes or chillax or anything like that. Dude, just the shields. How?
That guy was a pro.
Like, either that guy was just really good, really lucky, or everyone else just sucked that bad in his area. Like, I don't even mean to be mean, it's just... Like, they had no defensive anything. And it's not like those guys are strong by themselves. It's just flabbergasting to think. He couldn't buddy call, so he couldn't get any life from that.
Yep. I'm trying to look it up again. Because it just was
It's funny, because the other decks, you know, despite a hiccup here and there, were okay.
Yeah.
Just that one.
And then there was Bushiroad's error of making it look like that the guy who won that event was legal.
Was legal.
It was, yeah. He said he
He's underage, I'm afraid. So, that's what you made it sound like, man.
Sorry, I meant to say that, yeah. Because, like, they had listed 4 of his buddy and then said he was using my buddy, and luckily they fixed that. Where is... There it is, Portugal. This deck. I almost want this guy to win just because he's so crazy.
Well, I think that's all for that.
Yeah.
I just can't... I don't know.
Yeah, no... only the shields, that's it.
What else did he even have?
Oh, wait, no, he had Power Ray Maximum! And Justice Hammer.
That's not even a counterspell. I said defensive counterspells. It's not defensive because it's not a counterspell.
Yeah, you're right.
And there's no B. It's really just that's not a counterspell. That's not what I said. You can use that to attack your opponent on your turn.
Yeah.
You can't use it to defend yourself when they bring the hammer down on you. What else did he have?
He had 4 nice ones. He had 4 PM Solomon Volumes 1 and 2. He had The Fool Aims for the Wilderness, Fool's Journey, and Justice Hammer.
Okay, I'm pretty sure Aims for the Wilderness wasn't good. If I recall, it was something, when you have 5 life or less, put a top card of your deck into Gauge and gain a life.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's
you
what I
remembered
thought.
it perfectly.
So that could have easily been, you know, something good.
Nice ones.
I thought you said it was in this deck already.
Oh, wait, no, not... I meant Magical Goodbye, not Nice Ones.
Well, yeah, but if you can't afford that, even Oops or something, you know, something
Bye later.
That's not counterspell either.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I just need something to defend himself. Like,
This guy.
How did he not get his ass kicked by any... Like, adventurers were out at the time. How did... I'm talking about this too long. I'm going to stop right here.
It just, we were mystified by this deck.
Because, statistically, there's no way that deck should have been able to win. Especially against adventurers. Because it's not like he could use shields to protect himself against adventurers. Anyway, we're just going to cut it there. I guess that's everything now. Sorry about that little rant there at the end. I'm
sorry, I just really wanted to bring it up. It was so funny.
It's been 8 months. And people are still doing things like this.
Yeah.
And yet they're still topping, and I'm just wanting to know how.
We're really mad still that we couldn't have gone to
Yeah,
ours.
that's a part of it too. I'm so mad that I couldn't have gone there myself. Because 2 states over was too far. But mostly it's... anyway, that's about it then. Next week, the swordsman will dance. And I guess we'll beat up Lasagna. Because most likely he's going to curb stomp everybody until Gao, and then Gao will beat him, and then Ruga and Gao will have their big fight.
Magical fight of destiny.
Because there's no reason to do it any other way.
Will we finally see Thunder Knight Gao? Not Gao. Thunder Knight Drum?
Thunder Knight Gao.
Thunder Knight Gao.
I'm assuming probably.
I've been playing Adventurers too long.
Right, so I guess that is everything.
Yep.
So, yes, I am. So I guess till next time, everybody, keep on buddy fighting. And yeah, just keep doing it.
Bye-bye.